Welcome to the Fellowship of the Nerds. I'm your host, Mr. Nerd, and if you're into the Lord of the Rings, like myself, and the surrounding lore, you've come to the right place. If you're vibing with our content, we would love and appreciate if you smashed that subscribe button and joined our fellowship. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on all the latest nerdy alerts and adventures. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's dive headfirst into today's adventure. Galadriel, the Lady of Light, one of Tolkien's most enigmatic characters, has undergone a dramatic transformation from the Rings of Power to Peter Jackson's film adaptations. But is this evolution a natural progression, or does it hint at a deeper, more unsettling truth about her character? In Season 1 of The Rings of Power, Galadriel is portrayed as a relentless warrior, driven by an unquenchable thirst for vengeance. Clad in armor, sword in hand, she's a far cry from the ethereal, serene figure we see in Peter Jackson's adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. But is this truly Galadriel, or are we seeing a version of her that's been altered, perhaps even manipulated? Could this fit an even larger narrative of raw power and ambition? Fast forward to The Lord of the Rings. We encounter a Galadriel who seems almost unrecognizable. Gone is the warrior spirit, replaced by an aura of calm and wisdom. But is this a sign of growth, or has something, or someone, forced her to suppress the fire that once defined her?
In The Hobbit, she is depicted as a near-divine figure, a stark contrast to her younger, more passionate self. The question we must ask is, what happened to Galadriel, and why does she feel so distant from the warrior we once knew?
In the Rings of Power, Galadriel's role is clear. She's a warrior, a leader, and a force of nature. Her entire existence seems focused on hunting down the remnants of evil, particularly Sauron. She is driven by a need to prove herself, to fight against the darkness that took her brother from her. But is this a righteous crusade, or is she flirting with the very darkness she seeks to destroy? In The Lord of the Rings, Galadriel's role transforms profoundly. She embodies wisdom, caution, and a thoughtful restraint, shifting from her earlier days on the battlefield to a more pivotal role as a sage guide. She no longer wields the sword in battle. Instead, she influences the course of events through her deep knowledge and foresight, offering those who seek her aid visions of possible futures filled with both hope and caution. This strategic shift isn't born out of fear or an attempt to escape a past, but rather reflects a deliberate choice to utilize her immense power in a more impactful and subtle manner. This choice underscores her transition from a warrior to a philosopher queen, who sees beyond immediate battles to the war against darkness in its entirety. It is a nuanced approach, but that leverages her experiences, her victories, and her losses, demonstrating a sophisticated application of wisdom that only someone of her age and experience could actually manifest. Galadriel's internal struggle is one of the most compelling aspects of her character. In The Rings of Power, we see a woman haunted by her past, driven by loss and anger. She's not just fighting Sauron, she's fighting herself, battling the dark urges that threaten to consume her. But what if Galadriel's struggle is more than just personal? What if it's a sign that power, even in the hands of the purest, can corrupt? When she is offered the One Ring, Galadriel's reaction is telling. She admits that she has long desired this power, but in the end, she chooses to resist it. Yet, this moment reveals something unsettling. Galadriel has the capacity for great darkness. She envisions herself as a dark queen, beautiful and terrible as the dawn. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario, it's a glimpse into what she might have become had she not learned to master her desires and her emotions. By the time we see her in The Lord of the Rings, it's clear that Galadriel has learned to control her darker impulses. But this raises a provocative question. Has she truly overcome her darker nature, or has she merely buried it deep within, knowing it could resurface if tempted again? Galadriel's relationships with other characters are crucial to understanding her evolution. In the Rings of Power, her relationship with Elrond is one of mutual respect, but also tension. Elrond sees her as a friend and ally, but he also recognizes the danger of her single-minded pursuit of Sauron. Their dynamic hints at a deeper concern. Elrond worries that Galadriel's quest for vengeance may lead her down a dark path.
Her relationship with Gandalf is another key to understanding her evolution. In The Hobbit, we see a deep, almost unspoken bond between them. It's a relationship built on centuries of shared experience and mutual respect. Yet, there's also a sense of distance. Galadriel is no longer the fierce warrior, but a figure of near-divine wisdom. Has she transcended her former self, or has she simply retreated into an unreachable realm of power and isolation?
In The Lord of the Rings, Galadriel's interactions are far more measured and reflective. Her encounter with Frodo, in particular, is layered with meaning. She sees in him a reflection of her own struggles, a being burdened by a great weight, tempted by the power he carries. But rather than urging him to fight, she offers guidance and solace. It's a marked shift from the warrior we saw in the Rings of Power, suggesting that her experiences have fundamentally changed how she views power and responsibility. Galadriel's legacy is undeniable. She is one of the most powerful beings in all of Middle-earth, and her choices have far-reaching consequences. But as she departs Middle-earth at the end of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, we're left with lingering questions. Has Galadriel truly achieved peace, or is she finally accepting that her time as Guardian has come to an end? From the fiery warrior of the Rings of Power to the serene Lady of Lothlórien in the Lord of the Rings, Galadriel's journey is one of the most complex in all of Tolkien's world. She is a character who embodies both light and shadow, wisdom and power, serenity and struggle. But the true nature of her evolution, whether it's a tale of growth, retreat, or something more, is for each of us to decide. Galadriel's story challenges us to think deeply about the nature of power, the cost of wisdom, and the shadows that lurk within even the brightest of lights. As we reflect on her journey, we're left with a powerful reminder: even the greatest of us must confront our own darkness.
If you enjoyed this journey through Middle-earth, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. Join our fellowship, and together we'll explore every corner of Tolkien's legendary world. As Gandalf once said, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. So why not spend it here? See you guys in the next adventure.